8:43. Welcome back here on Breakfast Television. Former captain of the Queen of the North, Colin Anthorn on the BT couch. Thanks so much for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
This book, quite the read, The Queen of the North Disaster, the Captain's Story, your perspective on a story. We all know what happened just after midnight, March 22nd, 2006. And as you take us through the story and then the aftermath, bring us into this right now. When you knew the ship hit the ground that night, as a captain, gut reaction, gut feeling of the thoughts and feelings that went through your mind and body.
Well, the gut reaction was pretty sudden, actually quite surprising. I knew from the sound of course I couldn't see outside of my cabin, which is where I was when we hit the ground. I knew that we had grounded, and I knew we were going to be in serious trouble. I knew we was going to be in for a long night, but the heart takes a quicker look at things than the mind, and my heart was pounding so hard by the time I got to the wheelhouse, which is only a distance of a few feet. When I looked down, I could see my chest wall moving in and out, and my mouth was so dry that I literally thought that I was not going to be able to speak when I reached there.
And in that moment, you need to, and I think as a reader, you bringing us into this as a captain, with the experience that you had, the crucial life or death decisions you need to make. Captain, what were some of the key decisions, say the top three that you needed to make instantaneously to have a best case scenario here?
Well, some of the action had already been taken. By the time I got up there, all the alarm bells were being rung. The Mayday call was transmitted as we got out there. First of all, the first thing I wanted to do was to get everybody up on the upper deck, because with a ship aground, you don't know what the damage is. Everything you need to know is out of sight, and you can't reach it. So I knew that we had to be prepared to get off the ship. So that was the first thing, was to get everybody up on deck. I wanted to find out where we were exactly, and I didn't understand when I first reached the bridge that we were not aground any longer. We'd sideswiped the island, damaging the side, and there's a ledge that came out from the island that ripped open the bottom. I thought, or assumed initially, that we were still sitting on the ground and we weren't going to sink any further. We might slide off it, is what I thought. I didn't realize we were already well out in deep water. It was only a matter of minutes before I understood that. So I wanted to get the signal out for help as soon as possible. And there was another vessel in the area that I could see, but they don't always listen to the same radio channels. So I had flares fired. I ordered the anchors to be let go in the belief that we were on the ground, so that we wouldn't slide off. Of course, it was too late for that.
So there's clearly so much going on with this.
Yeah.
And you describe in vivid detail witnessing the sinking of the ship.
Yeah.
10 months later, after this ordeal, you're fired from your job. Legal implications ensue with the back and forth. But you also describe the idea of taking an experience and how it changes your outlook on life. And when you look at this now 10 years ago and seeing how it played out in the public and people probably still coming to you today reacting, how does this shift your perspective on the way you look at everything?
Well, mainly, I'm just really happy to be alive, and the world, it looks somewhat different. It looks brighter. It looks more beautiful. It feels better. You appreciate the other people around you and the people in your life, and there are times when I just feel so great, or just being alive and being able to look around the world and see how beautiful it is.
And there's two choices to go. You could choose to be bitter, you could choose to have appreciation for the moment, and it's always easy to look back because hindsight's 20/20. You describe the experience in the book, but if you look back at your life and look at this experience, is there anything you do differently in this moment?
At the moment of the grounding?
Yeah.
Well, I suppose if only one thing had been done differently, the accident would not have occurred. You know, accidents are the result of numerous circumstances. You take any one of them away, the accident doesn't happen. So I look back, I don't see anything that I should have done differently than that. I really regret that there are 2 people missing. So that's what that would be the one thing I think about the most, is what could I have done differently that would have prevented that from happening. But I don't know how they went missing, how they came to be missed. I don't know how we.
Still something we're searching for.
It's still, yeah, to me, it's still a mystery to me. So I can't say.
Well, I commend you in having the courage to write this book, share this story. There's a book launch happening tonight. If you'd like to delve in and find more about this story, we'll put details on screen and on our Facebook page. Again, The Queen of the North Disaster, the captain's story. Colin Henthorne, the author of this book. Thank you very much for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
And sharing your story.